Hey, check one, 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 two, 1, 2. Are we coming through? That's cool. It's a relatively quiet evening. Dark, late evening, dark. But it's the first day in about 10 days that there hasn't been a storm here. So that's pretty amazing. Uh, Apologize if the beard rubs up and down against the microphone. Um, it's that time again. Yep. Need to shave for sure. I was looking outside today, and oh, by the way, welcome to Walks with Wolfie. I promised my alter ego that I would take him out as often as possible and get him some fresh air to breathe. Get that fresh sea air, get that cold sea air. The temperature actually has risen about 10 degrees in the last 2 days. And boom, all the snow melted really quickly. What did I want to say? As usual, no plan. I was looking outside today and I was thinking, God, it's still night. Because obviously the days are getting longer now. We are mid-February. And I was thinking what a difference it made having that storm. And it was like basically dark for 10 days. And then after those 10 days, it's like, wow, extra light in the day. Because what is it? There's an extra 3-4 minutes of light per day or something like that. And when it's dark, it's dark for such a long period of time, and then you get extra light, you're like, oh wow, I can do more stuff. I can go outside. We can play more. There's lots of cool things to do. So that was a thought today, and I thought that I might ramble on. Yeah. Hello. I thought that I might. Oh, can I see the stars this evening? A few of them, definitely. Yeah. Not too many, but they're there. Trying to work out if that sort of glistening, glowing orange light is a star or is it a star or a plane? It's hard to tell. Anyway, I guess the no plan rant and ramble will be about darkness and light, I suppose. It's interesting the choices that we have to make. The choices that we have to choose. When you grow up, my son, you will be faced with the same choices that I was faced with when well, you will see. And right, I guess that stuff only happens in films. Yeah, that you get the simplification in the film. What is it, like 5-10 pages of text? It can be a whole film script, provided it's not all talking, of course. But I once worked it out in terms of things like musicals. I'm like, okay, so how much dialogue is actually in this musical film? And it's like about 5 pages. That's not a lot. You want to reduce the whole story to 5 pages. Of course, the songs will tell some of it, but not all of it. Yeah, it's hard. Think about those biography films, how they try to reduce a person's entire life to an hour and a half. It's like Can you really do that? Can you reduce a person? And if you're going to do a biography of a person, it's got to be a relatively interesting person. So how do you even do that? And, provide some relevance or context or meaning while you're doing it. It is hard. There's definitely an art to planning and organizing and writing those things. I was involved many years ago in the theatre. Oh, darlings, do come in. Oh, places, everyone, places. And 2, 3, 4, whatever. I couldn't act, I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance. I'm not quite sure what I was doing there. I got involved because I wanted to help kids. That's how it all started. I was relatively good with kids. What that means is they didn't run in the opposite direction from me, screaming all the time. I had my time, worked in a nursery for a while. That was a wonderfly torturous experience. I loved being with the kids, but I was out of my depth at that point. I was very young. I was a bit out of my depth. I was just like, oh my God, I don't know anything about kids, and gonna be in this nursery, but it was a very humbling experience because kids seem to know everything and I seem to know nothing. Yay! Wait a minute, nothing's changed. It's all still the same, isn't it? Kids have the knowledge of the world. Adults grow up and forget it, and then invent all these mysteries, and then reinvent them. And that's the adult world. The adult world is all the mysteries that all the children have solved already. But the adults forgot, right? Who is it that forgets? Isn't it Peter Pan? Like somebody forgets about everything. Yeah, the dreams of childhood. This is I'm down the dark side. The dark side. I'm down the dark side of the harbour, and not sure if I should. Well, last time I tried to come along here, there was such an incredibly strong wind blowing that I could lean into it and not fall over. That was a risky experience. Well, it's a bit cloudy, and it's dark on this side, and there's lots of stones, and can't really see where I'm going, and there's bits of snow, so I'm not gonna go all the way down that side of the harbour. I'll just let it be, oh let it be, oh let it be, let it be, something like that. How those songs don't leave us. What was that? When we get older, all the dreams we have as children fade away, fade away. Don't they? Don't they just? My love, don't they just? The stars look very different today. It's always the same line, isn't it? Same line. Gotta pick up a few new lines. Yeah. Gotta pick up a few. What was I talking about? The theatre, the drama, the working with the kids, the nursery. Yeah. Well, I learned about patterns and organization. I learned that kids have much less fear than adults. Everyone should spend a little bit of time in daycare. Might be good for your soul, you know. Might just be good for your soul. Drama and theatre. You want to talk about that? What do you think, Wolfie? You would be good at drama and theatre. You would. There'd be no stopping you. Oh well. Yeah, I got involved because I wanted to help kids. Didn't realise it was a full-on drama project. I've been involved in drama a little bit before. The idea of like a little bit of music or being involved in acting or something kind of appeals to, I think, most people in the back of their mind. Growing up surrounded by media and entertainment. I did a musical in high school, except... Oh no, I did go to a high school. It was actually called the high school. Yay! Because there's so many other names for schools. And I have a problem remembering them all. There's the academy, and the grammar school, and the secondary, and the high. So there we go. So I went to high school and was in a musical. I played the drunken choir master. Must be a videotape of that somewhere. Somebody will have one up in their attic, collecting dust. I'm going to have to ask around, as if I really care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that for me. I mean, it might be interesting for the kids to see what I was like. It might be interesting for me to see what I was like. I'd like to see the whole thing, actually. I don't remember that much about it. I remember there were a lot of nice-looking girls. That always made things more enjoyable and frustrating at the same time, of course. Yes, the other side. The other side of the class, the other side of the sports hall, the other side of the assembly. Yay! That stuff never grows old. Light and darkness. We are pushed and pulled consistently by these forces. In fact, those who find themselves more on the light side will feel a greater pull by the darkness. And likewise, those who are furthest over on the spectrum of the dark side will understand better the light. Tough choices that people have to make at various points in time in their life. Does that segue make sense? I'm not sure it does. But there's tough choices that we all have to make. And it's all about light and darkness. It's all about our understanding of light and darkness. What does he mean by that? Well, people tend to think, in general, that the end justifies the means. That whichever way you go, it doesn't really matter as long as you get to where you want. And that is false. That's another giant fallacy that is perpetuated. No, it's not that it's taught to people. It's not that people are taught the wrong thing. It's that they're not taught anything. If you're not taught anything, how can you know what's right? Really, how can you know? How can you know what's right? What have you got to hold on to? What is your moral magnet? What is your compass? Will you tell us? Or will we have to torture it out of you? Why don't you? Why don't you speak? Has the cat got your tongue? Huh? So, yeah, this idea that doesn't matter which way you go, as long as you get to the end, it's rubbish. It's complete rubbish. First of all, there's garnering other people's respect from the hard work that you do. Secondly, playing by the rules, which in competition tends to be not just by the rules, but playing within the rules as people interpret them in different ways and bend them as they are inclined to do. So everyone will get pulled by the light and by the darkness, like two sides of the brain, not being able to coexist without the other. They don't. It's the yin and yang of everything. Everything has another side that equalizes and balances everything out. Everything. You think that rushing to the finish line is the whole point of everything? Well, it's not. That's relevant. As frustrated as I am today, I know that rushing to the finishing line is not the way. There have been things today that have worked out. There have been positive interactions. And there have been things today that haven't. They've gone backwards, sideways, skew with, what? Fall up the alleyway. Right, those things that just haven't hooked, they haven't clicked as well or as much as they should have, and so tomorrow, yeah, I mean it just comes down to that, I suppose. Getting up and getting on with everything and getting better with everything. It's funny how a lot of the time the things that should help you actually hinder you. A lot of people taking a lot of bad advice recently. Really. Really. Did you read that on the back of a packet of crisps? Or a box of breakfast cereal, perhaps? Because that's a stunning piece of stupidity. And yet people march on, oblivious, unsighted, unaware. They move further down a road that's irreversible. And yet today I find myself frustrated with the waiting, frustrated with the lack of knowledge, frustrated with the lack of information, frustrated by everything going on, frustrated with the misunderstandings, miscommunications, frustrated at knowing things and knowing you can't communicate them to people. There's a frustration. There's a lot to be said for the simple joy of just telling everyone everything. The fool lives a happier life than the wise man, yet neither seem completely aware of the other's interpretations, perhaps, perceptions, feelings, maybe. Your feelings will get pushed and pulled by the bright lights. I can see from here, while walking backwards up the hill, the reflection of the lighthouse in the sea. Have you had experiences of the light and the darkness in your life? Have you felt the push and the pull? Have you chosen wrongly? Have you been misdirected? And then corrected? Self-correction. That's the key to a lot of the successes in life. Just little tweaks here and there. Consistently. Little tweaks here and there. Consistently, again and again. They all count. They all make a difference. What about Wolfie? Has Wolfie been troubled by those kinds of choices? So like I said, it's never right to do something wrong to get something right. It's not the way. It is better to be right and fail, whatever failure means, than to be wrong and to succeed. There's a lot of ill-justified success, I think. Oh, like I said recently, nobody wins in the grand battle. Oh yeah, the tennis court has an umpire. There's 2 players, or 4, and you play to win, right? But what does that teach us? Well, there's a winner and a loser and everything. Okay, you can learn some humility from losing. You can improve, but I don't like that. Not that I don't like the humility and the losing. Yeah, if you lose, you lose. That's it. Whatever. It is. I don't get a great joy from winning personally and seeing somebody else lose. I would get a great joy from being involved in a great competition and then the competition being maybe entertaining for people and it being a close, hard-fought competition. And then you have, both teams congratulate each other at the end, whatever, and they move on. The winner won, the loser lost. There'll be more opportunities. I sort of don't mind that, but there's far too much focus on life and winner takes all. The winner takes it all. My God, there's so much truth in ABBA songs. And so many bad rhyming couplets at the same time. Did they really rhyme? Dancing Queen with tambourine. And they got away with it. Nobody seems to complain about it. Oh well. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Time on my hands should be time spent with you. Do 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 do. Oh. Can't sing, can't dance. You'll go a long way. Right. You'll be a star. Yeah. For sure, for sure. Not me, so over the top of the hill, down the other side. Wind's getting up a bit. Might be blowing on the microphone. Apologies. Apologies. Try and pull the mic a bit closer. Apologies if it's if you get too much wind in the background there. Meanwhile, the lights of the town and the towns sparkle and glisten as we all do until we fade. But before we do, there is that battle of light and darkness that we all have to I don't think we win, but we have to resolve. That's it. Solve again and again and again. Because the next day will present another challenge. A wise young man asked me recently, when will it be over? I told him it will never be over. There are some things that we carry with us forever. Really, we do. Some things we do. They don't fade away. Good things and bad things. Your victory, your last second goal in the cup final, and everyone forever talks about it and analyzes it, and it becomes you, right? Or who's that character in the Snoopy and Charlie Brown cartoon? Is there a character who constantly has a cloud following them around, or something like that? Is it from that cartoon? Maybe. But that's the downside of things going wrong. You make a mistake and that follows you around. You gotta learn to live with that and shrug it off and brush it off and see it come back again. Frustrates you consistently until you learn to accept it, because problems always reappear until you earn your stripes, right? The problems always reappear until the lesson gets learned. And once the lesson is learned, you can move along and move on beyond the questions and the mysteries. Seek out new things. Boldly go where you've never gone before. Hey, Wolfie. You alright down there? Are you okay? Strange lights out on the sea. On the last leg of the little walk. It's a quiet town. If you notice, the buses are always empty. Here. Beautiful buses. Nice route. Nice route to go on. Always empty though. Sad. Sad bus is an empty bus. I remember from Slovakia, the bus system was called Slovenska autobusová doprava, SAD. So all the buses had these 3 big letters on the side of them, SAD. So they were all sad buses. Is that funny? Silly. It's silly. That's what it is. There's a lot of things in life that are silly. But yeah, strange lights out on the sea. It's going to be some boats doing some work, most probably. Also, you'd have to wonder what kind of work they'd be doing at night out there. It's going to be rough, even on a calm day. It's going to be rough out there. That's for sure. So at some point in their life, everyone is going to be challenged by this pool of the light and the dark. They're going to be challenged by the nature of the universe, which will test you not on what you've learned from other people, but from what you've internalized from studying your own experiences, from pondering your own ideas and your own thoughts, your understanding of you as an original, beautiful, special, sentient, eternal, all-encompassing human being. That is the nature of the judgment, right? That did we do everything that we were supposed to do? Did we fully understand that to whom much is given, much is expected, right? Do we fully understand that? Do we fully understand how much we've all been given? It's funny how those with less often give more. Have you noticed? It's one of the old answers to the question, how do the rich get richer? Well, sometimes it's through hard work and prudent investments. Sometimes it's just through hoarding. Hoarding what they can. Holding on to everything. Not letting stuff go. Not caring. Not sharing. Not that you have to share everything. Everything belongs to everybody. We're all part of a community. It's like, yeah, that's not going to teach you. That's not going to teach you how to care for things. Yeah, you've got to have something that is yours, where you have full, complete and total responsibility, you've got to have something like that if you want to care. Yeah. If you want to learn how to care. Because it's maybe not something that comes naturally to a lot of people to care. Maybe they have very little experience of it in their lives in the past. The past was brutal for many, and those were the ones that survived. How crazy is that? And yet still there is that challenge. Always that challenge of light in the darkness. Of enlightenment. Of choosing to make the right choice. Of finding your own voice. It doesn't get any easier. Not for me or for the wolf. But we try. And with trial comes error, and with error comes correction. And with correction comes redirection, and with redirection comes the opportunities of successes. And we return to where we started from. On a dark evening, somewhere up north. Wherever you are, have a good one.